Hello and welcome to the Regen Racing Podcast. I'm your host, Deano, here with Nath. How are we doing, Nath?
G'day. Good. Happy to be here.
Excellent. So, episode 1, we're just going to do a brief introduction and a little bit about the podcast of what we're going to be talking about. The show, probably the name gives it away, but yeah, we will run through typical layout, show segments, how we got into motorsport, some of our favourite drivers, tracks, etc., and predictions for this episode. So,
Ooh.
right, jumping right in. So, Nath, tell us a bit about yourself. What do you do? Why are you on the podcast?
Oh, that's a big question. How do I summarize myself and my whole life in a few words? I'm a part-time civil engineer. That's kind of what I do during the day, and how I get into motorsport. Primarily through just watching things as a kid on a Saturday afternoon. Always loved watching motorsport. It's just from the thrill of the action, but also from the technological standpoint and the it's just I don't really know where I'm going with this, Dean. I didn't really think about this, but
Yeah, fair enough. Did your dad get you into it, or is he not really into it?
He's not really into it, but then I do have these very vivid memories of as a child, sitting down with him watching Formula One on a Saturday afternoon. This was back in the days of when Michael Schumacher was reigning supreme, and
the Schumacher era.
Yeah.
Yep. So you watched the red cars in the front and everyone way behind.
Pretty much. Yep.
Fair enough.
So how did you get into motorsport, Dean?
I had quite a few series that I followed. When I was younger, a lot of WRC. So my dad, for some reason, was into WRC and V8 supercars.
Oh, yeah.
So I followed like Richard Burns, Peter Solberg, Marcus Gronholm, etc.
Yeah.
Sebastian Loeb, who's back now, which is cool to see. So we'd watch them probably a bit too much, and especially Greg Murphy. So that's who we were kind of rooting for when we were watching it back then.
Nice. Back in the old, just straight Holden versus Ford days in the V8 supercars.
Yeah, no, it was good for the purist. Purist.
Yep.
And Ford or Holden? We're going to alienate some of the listeners here.
Look, I don't want to alienate people. I really don't. I would always support Holden in the V8 supercars.
Yeah, me too.
Mainly just because this is really going to alienate people. I think aesthetically, I liked their cars more. That was a primary reason. You kind of develop these things as a child when that's about all you know, and then it kind of just sticks with you. But some of my favorite cars are Fords. Like the Ford GT40 is just a beautiful car.
Yeah, it is. That's true.
So I kind of I don't want to take a too strong a standpoint on any side of the fence, really.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, Nath, what racing series are we going to cover in this podcast?
So in this podcast, we're going to try and cover as much as we can. Lately, we've both been watching a lot of Formula E and really enjoying that. So that's going to be a good starting point for us. We're then going to move into the GTE and also the Jaguar I-Pace series starting up next year. So there's a lot of new developments in the Formula E racing ecosphere, and we'll try and stay abreast of those as much as we can and keep you updated.
Perfect. So for those that don't know, I mean, Formula E being the elephant in the room, but for the Jaguar I-Pace series, we'll just have a bit of a chat about this one to complement the Formula E calendar. So the races will be before Formula E every race weekend that Formula E is on.
Yep.
And it's, I guess, a production car, quite a quick one looking at it. 196 Nm of instant torque. That's a lot. So that's 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in about 4.8 seconds. So, really going for it. Lithium ion batteries, 90 kilowatt capacity, big batteries. The weight is almost 2 ton, so these are not small, and all aluminium as well. So
the Jaguar I-Pace itself is one of Jaguar's production vehicles, isn't it? And it's more of their crossover type vehicle. It's a bit heavier than
yes,
just a normal hatchback.
Yeah, it is. So it's more of a sedan looking, more sedan than hatch. And it's called the I-Pace E-Trophy.
Yep.
So that'd be an interesting one to watch. I think they were looking for something a bit extra on how to get more interest around Formula E, and I think this series is a bit of an in-between for people that like the stock cars as well. So it could bring more people into Formula E, as well as Formula E having the new cars next season. So
yes,
we've also
big
got that to look forward to, but we won't talk about that now. We'll talk about that in our preview later in the year, but that's really exciting. So Nath, GTE, the production car series, what do you know about that one?
Yes, so the GT recently announced. GTE, also see it referred to as the Electric Production Car Series, or EPCS. First FIA approved electric race series, 20 drivers at a time, driving a race-prepared Tesla Model S P100D. So
lovely.
it's gonna be pretty intense, pretty hectic. I'm really looking forward to seeing this one. As I'm sure everyone's aware, Tesla Model S is a pretty grunty car, and this is taking it one step further. So what we're hearing is a race prepared car, 0 to 100 in 2.1 seconds, which is going to be
2.1 seconds.
Yes, so that's 3/10 quicker than the production version.
That is that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You will be forced back in your seat.
Oh,
that's
look, I remember
amazing.
I remember as a kid, for many years, the McLaren F1 was like the car, with its top speed in the mid 3.5 seconds, or 1 to 100 speed, 1 to 100 time, and it seemed like for a long time nothing would beat that. And then slowly, you get other cars coming in and just shaving it off. But with these new electric cars, that has just been absolutely demolished. I'm not sure. There might be someone medically minded out there to give us an actual answer of how quick is too quick. But look, this is going to be pretty exciting to see.
This is looking like it's going to push the limits anyway.
Yeah. So in order to harness all that power, new Pirelli tires, just to deal with the massive amounts of kilowatts and torque being produced. Oh, my cat just managed to open the door by itself. That's remarkable. Sorry.
That's cool.
Yeah. So 100 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery. So 90 k's approximately on a single charge at racing speed. 500 kgs lighter than the production car. So it's gonna be absolutely mad. So
how many horsepower has this thing got?
Horsepower 778 brake horsepower. So 585 kilowatts.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see this series take off.
It's a pretty quick toaster.
It's a very quick toaster. 500 k's less weight than the production car,
which Teslas are notoriously a very heavy car. I'm not sure what that's going to leave it, but that's a huge decrease in weight.
Yeah, it also looking like more downforce, double steel wishbone push rods, operated suspension, dual circuits, single pedal hydraulic race brakes, which you're going to definitely need those to be braking under 250 kilometers an hour, and so that should sort out the cornering speed as well. 250 kilometer an hour max speed.
So we've talked a lot about the car. What do we know about the actual race series overall, Dean?
Okay, so the series itself, it follows a pretty standard point system, and most of them are used in other FIA sanctioned series, so it's not too far out there. Top 10 finishers get points, so similar to Formula E, Formula 1. So first 25, second 18, third 15, and then 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. So exactly the same as Formula 1, Formula E. And in addition, the driver starting pole will be awarded an additional 3 points, and fastest lap will score 2 points.
This is a very,
So it's
very
definitely worth.
similar sounding format to Formula E in a way, with extra
Yeah, I
points
think
being awarded.
Now, this is very, very cool. Now, this might put some listeners off, but the production car series will also have a drift-off competition.
Wow.
Yep. Special stage reserved for the 2 winning drivers, plus the most voted drivers. So it's going to be similar to what we see from, what's it called?
Fan boost.
Yep. So it's going to be similar to what we see from the fan boost. I think it's quite cool to get people involved as well through social media. Do you do the fan boost?
No, to be honest, I find it a little bit tacky.
Oh, I love it. But yeah, I can see why you think that.
It's I can see the intent of what they're trying to do.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
It does often seem that it's just the same names coming up again and again. Yeah.
It does. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's once the drivers have the following, it's hard for them not to get the fan boost.
Yeah, it turns into a bit of a popularity contest for
Yeah. But I mean, this could be something a bit more interesting with drifting. Some of these drivers will probably be a bit rubbish at it, so
yeah,
it could be quite funny.
I don't know how I feel about it being a regular edition. That's an interesting one. I would appreciate it as a special event and a bit of an exhibition, but having it as in addition to the actual contest, we'll wait and see how that turns out.
Also, during this weekend, there's also EGT esports race, and also karting events will take place between these races as well. So they're really trying to cram a lot in, it seems. I'm not sure what they'll keep and what they won't. I guess it's just, throw it at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah. Do we have any information yet on for this new format, for this new EPCS? Do we have any information on how many races, whereabouts these are going to be happening, and timeframes for this?
Not yet. I think they have firmed up it's starting in November, but they haven't really. I think they do have a calendar, but final dates haven't been confirmed yet. Keep your ears peeled. Brilliant. Moving back to Formula E now. Favourite drivers?
Yes. So, Dean, I know you certainly have quite a few favourite drivers, so why don't you run us through them?
I do. Eduardo Mortara, Sam Bird, and Mitch Evans, my top 3. Unfortunately, Eduardo Mortara is having a bit of a tough time, but I think he'll come right. And I'm sure we probably will see that once Mercedes comes in, he'll be one of their drivers. I think this is just a bit of a experience gaining process for him at the moment with Venturi. So Sam Bird, he's experienced, around 30, 31. He's been in the game a while, and he's still on for the win this season. So
yeah, he's been looking good, been performing solidly, and yeah.
You never know.
Never know.
I think Jev is a wee bit too far ahead, but you never know. And Mitch Evans, just because he's a Kiwi, he's insanely quick. He's had some really good overtakes, and he's generally pretty exciting to watch. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
yourself.
Look, for me as well. Mitch Evans is my favourite personally. It's always nice to see a Kiwi performing on the world stage, and it's hard to pick any other favourites when he's out there carving up the competition, and hopefully one day very shortly getting the results he deserves.
He does. He's been so close. So close this season. We will we'll talk about it more once we get to a later episode and run down, what happened in the races this season. Do a bit of a review.
Yep.
Kind of looking forward to that. Is your favourite team Jaguar then?
Do I have a favourite team? Yes, I do. Yes. Look, Jaguar for their drivers, for their technical ability and for their livery, I would have to go with Audi. And I know that's going to be contentious. I know there's a lot of haters out there, but I'm always a fan of Audis, and I hope they do well. And
well, they did just leave WEC and decide to come over for Formula E. It's looking like a lot more of the manufacturers, the big European manufacturers, will join Season 6.
Yeah.
So can't hate you too much for Audi. They do have a very quick car this season.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, had a bit of trouble, but I think they've sorted it out. Lucas de Grassi he is something else.
Yeah.
When when he's got the sniff of victory, he is just relentless.
So what about yourself, Dean? You got some favourite teams and favourite liveries there?
Yep, Jaguar and Neo. Jaguar, yep, love PK as well. Mitch Evans and Neo. I think Oliver Turvey, Luca Filippi. They are, I just enjoy watching them. And also Neo on the livery.
Oh,
I just love
have
those
to agree with
blue
you.
and
Yeah,
green.
yeah.
Venturi also. Yeah, it's just clean.
Yeah, talking about clean liveries, my favourite livery so far this season has been in the Rome race. Lopez came from the back in pretty much a stock standard white car, very minimal branding. It just looked so good going around the track, so clean. It was like the racing of yesteryear, hardly any sponsors on it.
So is that because Dragon don't have many sponsors, or
I
just
think it was a bit of a backup car straight out of the shipping container out the back of the back of the pit lane? But
oh right,
yeah.
Fair enough. Whatever works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Favorite track then? While we're going through favorites.
So far this season, we are recording this halfway through the season. So far, Rome has been my favourite track. Just had a bit of everything. It had a lot of fast sections. Had a little jump in the middle, some tighter corners, and good passing opportunities, which I really appreciate. I find it hard to get excited when it's just the same lap of cars going around and trying to unsuccessfully to pass each other. It's nice to see a bit of action in there and a bit of a shake-up.
It's hard when Jev's at the front, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, he's masterful defender. Yeah, I think that mini jump, it did look impressive on TV, but I think it did look a bit more impressive on TV from the camera angles.
The low camera angles looking back up. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it gave them a little.
They're doing their job.
Yeah, gave them a little rise in their stomach as they go over it.
I really hate doing that when I'm driving along. But puts me off, man.
Fair enough.
Cool. For me, Punta del Este.
That is a
Uruguay.
Beautiful sitting there beside the sea.
It is.
Wedged in.
I do like the scenery. I like that it can be tough under braking with all the sand. It's kind of a real test. Also, there's not many runoffs.
No.
If there's a mistake, I really like that, you actually have to have full concentration at all times, or else you'll just go into the wall.
Yeah.
You'll, and it'll be over.
Yep.
Very good.
Cool.
Predictions. Who do you think will win this season? And, we better have an update on what the scores are.
Yeah, so, look, we're recording this after race 8 in Paris. Techeetah are looking very dominant, 188 points on the table, followed by DS Virgin at 133, and then closely followed by Audi Sport Apt and Mahindra 114 and 107. So, look, it's at this point in the season, unless Techeetah really do something astronomically bad, they're in a very good position to just keep on pushing that a little bit and cruise home for the victory. So that's where my money is. It's have to have a strong gut feeling to go for anyone else at this point. Do you feel the same way, Dean, or are you hanging out for an outside win?
No, I don't.
Oh,
outside win. I think Bird is going to take the win.
Right.
I think he's going to win the Drivers' Championship. Yep. Yeah, but I think it's going to take something pretty special. It's going to take a lot. I think there's only 3 races left, isn't there?
4 races left.
4 left.
So drivers' standings, we've got Jean-Eric Verne, Jev on 147, and Sam Bird on 116. And look, then followed by Felix Rosenquist. He's had a valiant effort, but he's back in 86 points. So if anyone's going to do it, it's Sam Bird here, and Jean-Eric Verne's going to have to work hard, well, not work that hard to keep where he's at.
I think he's just If he's having a bad race, I think it's just going to be damage limitation, picking up those few points. Yeah. If he is, if he has a bad qualifying or something happens with the car, to just pick up the scraps as it were.
Look, Techeetah's in a really good position to take out the drivers in the team standings, so we'll look forward to seeing how that plays out over the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing because you don't normally, unheard of almost, to hear customer teams beating the manufacturers. So, I mean, it doesn't happen in LMP1. It doesn't happen in Formula 1. So, this is, it's just so competitive. Yeah. So that's definitely what I enjoy about this.
That's good. Early days of a new format, of a new formula. Yeah, excitement happens.
It does. It really does. Yeah, exciting to have the new cars coming next season as well. Looking forward to further podcasts to talk about those, but I guess we should probably wrap it up there.
Excellent.
So this will always be a free show, but please consider donating if you enjoy our content at Patreon. Link in the show notes. This will assist with hosting and other services to bring you the quality podcast your ears deserve. We can also be contacted by email in the show notes for ad placements.
We love to talk with the community. If you've got any questions or show feedback or want to just generally have a chat, then flick us an email at hello@regenracingpodcast.com.
Our website is under production, so should be up in the next month or two. www.regenracingpodcast.com. And what's our Twitter, Nathan?
At Regen Racing. You can check us out there for probably not all of your latest news, but for to keep up.
We'll try and keep it up to date. Yeah,
excellent,
brilliant. Well, thank you, Nathan. It's been a pleasure, and looking forward to doing it again.
Sounds good. Thanks for hosting, Dean, and we'll talk with you next time.
All right. See ya.